Today, large banks each spend a huge amount of time and effort collecting and storing all the necessary data relating to their corporate clients. The costs for this are very significant, as much as $88 million per bank per year. And getting it wrong is expensive. Banks that fail to comply precisely with money laundering and economic sanction legislation run the risk of costly litigation and potentially billions of dollars of fines. For example, between 2012 and 2018, European banks paid over $16 billion in fines related to money laundering. And this risk looks set to increase. Pressure from regulators and governments, as well as a further tightening of anti-money laundering and know your customer rules, mean that managing clients' data is a headache that will only get worse over time. What if there was a way to reduce this complexity for banks and cut data management costs by half? Strategy and PwC's strategy consulting business has looked extensively at the issue of data management in banking. Our research points to a significant opportunity for banks to reduce the cost and time involved in collecting, storing, and reviewing regulatory client data. To achieve this, banks should work together to create a data utility or network, an independent mechanism to provide a secure, trusted data management service to many banks, and have the focus and capabilities to comply with complex and constantly evolving regulatory demands. So how would this work? Today, a corporate client has to deliver data separately for each and every one of its banking relationships. They have to submit their data in a variety of different formats and at various points in time whenever one of the banks they deal with triggers a request. This is a time-consuming, inefficient, and often frustrating way to do business. Plus, there is significant complexity for each bank to navigate, driven by evolving regulation and different processes. One way to solve this would be with a data utility. In this way, clients would only need to submit their data once, in a standardized way, instead of dealing with multiple submissions and formats. The data utility would then take care of distributing it as required to banks and managing regulatory requests. While there are multiple benefits to this approach, there are also significant hurdles to overcome on the path to implementation. These include banks agreeing to collaborate with their competitors and share the costs in a fair and equitable way. Agreeing a common data standard. At present, every bank has its own way of collecting and storing data and its own interpretation of local and international regulations. And harmonizing processes to ensure a better client experience. Currently, each bank triggers data requests according to their own schedule. A data utility would be able to schedule one cycle of requests and also make better use of data from public sources, reducing the burden on the client. Strategy believes that the potential benefits of sharing client data across banks far outweigh the investment and work involved to set it up. In doing so, banks are likely to increase efficiency and customer satisfaction. Not only could banks achieve substantial cost reductions in the medium term, there are significant additional opportunities to reduce compliance costs in the longer term. To find out more information and download a copy of our data utility report, please visit our website. Strategy made real.